Hi, this is Lady C. Welcome to Creative Studio. And in the upcoming episode, I'm going to be talking all about how I keep track of my reviews using Microsoft OneNote Notebook. So take a look at my screen right now. You're going to notice here the name of my notebook shows up at the top left-hand side of my screen. And the name of the notebook is called Amazon Vine. At the top, you're going to notice a ribbon, and it's going to be home. You're going to see home, insert, draw, and things like that. And you're also going to see the item that's selected. So the home tab is selected on the ribbon, and you're going to notice the items associated with home, which will allow you to make changes to your text, bold, italics, and things like that. Change the font and the font size. So it's just like any other Microsoft Word document or anything, but this is actually a notebook. And what I did was, in the notebook, I have sections. So you'll notice that all of the items in the vertical list, they're listed as a section. And then you'll also notice in the second column here, there's an opportunity for you to add a page. So on my first section, I created a link to the Vine. So whenever I want to work with Vine, I just go to my Amazon Vine notebook, click on link to Vine, and then all I got to do is come over here and click on my link. And my link will go ahead and open up my Amazon Vine window. So it's so easy for me to navigate to get into the Vine resources. I'm going to go back into my notebook. So that's one way you can work with this notebook. The other thing is, as I begin to review a lot of products that had multiple categories, I began to categorize the type of products that I was receiving. So I have one called cameras and accessories. If I click on cameras and accessories, you're going to notice that all of the cameras and accessories that I was able to review show up in the second column of lists. So you click on the item on the left-hand side in the add section area, and then another area opens up to show you the pages associated with that particular category. So I also came up with this idea that once I finished reviewing a product, I would go ahead and write the word done right on the same line as the item. So that's the heading for the page. Okay? So notice how the first one I have here, I'm just going to click on this. It shows a USB camera adapter. So notice how, I've got the name of the item, and then right below it, I've got a picture of what I got and a description. I also have the date I ordered it and the cost of the item. Right below that, or right beneath that, you're going to notice that here is my review. Okay? So this is what I did to keep track of this. Now, you don't have to necessarily use this just to keep track of Amazon Vine products. You could be using this for other items as well, but this is just a nice little exercise to help you see how you could use Microsoft OneNote Notebook. And then, of course, after I finished reviewing an item and copying and pasting this information from here, I just went ahead and wrote the word done. So you'll notice if I just drag this scroll box down, you'll see all of the items that I have reviewed under the category of cameras and accessories. So it's very, very simple. Very, very simple. So I reviewed quite a few products, And so what I would do is I'm going to go back into the Amazon Vine, and I'm going to just go ahead and just show you what I would do. So let's say, for instance, I was going to be reviewing an item, and let's say I go to the reviews tab. It'll show you all of your outstanding reviews, and if you have not reviewed an item yet. So let's say, for instance, I got this jump rope that I was going to be reviewing, and now I need to capture some data related to this jump rope. If you go to the reviews tab, it doesn't have the amount that it doesn't have the fair market value amount here. So you got to really go to the orders tab. So let's go to orders. Let's scroll down. I'm going to go to the second page, and that jump rope should be somewhere on the second page. So let's just say I haven't already copied and pasted this to my Microsoft OneNote notebook. So all you got to do is just come in here and then just drag to select the text. And then, of course, I just right-click on it, choose copy, and then go back into the Microsoft OneNote notebook. And then I would just go to the category that this would be that I would find this under. And I'm not even sure where I put this, if I even put it anywhere. So I'm going to put it under exercise. So I'm going to create a section, and I'm going to name it exercise. And then I'm going to come over to the, I can go ahead and hit the enter key or the return key on a Mac to enter the name of that new section. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here, and you can click there to start typing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come beneath there. I'm going to hit the return key a couple times and come back up. And then I'm just going to just right click on it and choose paste. So now here's all the information about this product. Then I could just simply come to the top and then just choose, I'm just going to type in jump rope. Jump rope for women and men. Okay. So now when I get ready to come in here and begin to write my review, I already got my area where I can click my mouse to begin typing information about this jump rope. So this is what I'm doing when I am keeping track of my Amazon Vine reviews. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to search for an item in our notebook, and we want to search for this item in the entire notebook. And what we're going to do is search for a microphone. So we're going to click on the button, the show search button. A field at the top shows up. I've already done a previous search for a webcam, but now I'm looking for a mic. I'm just going to type in MIC. Press return on a Mac or enter on a PC. And notice how it shows up that there's 133 items associated with the word mic, MIC. But it also is bringing back a notebook called Microsoft Partner because it has the word mic in it. And it's going to show you microphones in an Amazon Vine. Microsoft Edge is showing up. Everything with the word mic is showing up. So what I want to do is I want to limit this. I want to limit the number of items that show up with the word MIC. So what I'm going to do is click on the little filter button here so I can filter my search, just so I can go and tell the computer exactly what I want to see. So at this point, notice how the check mark is showing up under all notebooks. Well, in this case, I want to only show the current notebook, which is Amazon Vine. So all I have to do is choose that second option. Now you're going to notice how it's going to limit the items to 70. Okay? So if I drag this scroll box down, notice how it's going to show all of the items that have the word mic associated with it. Okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that I have reviewed 70 mics. It just is showing that the word mic is showing up in this review. Okay? So now what we're going to do is just this type microphone. 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 Enter that in. And now notice how it changes to 44. And let's just make sure it's just looking for it in the current book. Yes, it is. And so now you can begin to search for the microphone that you reviewed so that you can then go in and make any changes to it. Now, if you know the actual name of the microphone, you can even narrow it down even more. So like, for instance, I might say that my microphone, let me just go find one. Maybe I want the Donner microphone. So I could just go in here and replace the word microphone with Donner. So I'm just going to type in Donner, Donner, and hit the enter key or the return key on the Mac. And now notice how it further limits my selection to 7. Because now the only thing that's coming back is the item that has the word Donner in it. So now if I want to go and click on this one that says Donner condenser microphone, I can then click on that and it brings me to my review that I did for this particular microphone. Okay? And then of course all you got to do is just click on the X to, close out of that. And then, you want to go back to the original navigation, just choose the books and it brings it back. So anyway, so this is how you would do that. So I hope these tips were helpful to you and helping you to understand how you can use Microsoft OneNote so that you can keep track of either your Amazon reviews or other things that you're working on. If you enjoyed this video presentation, make sure you give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I upload new content. And I look forward to seeing you, having you in my audience in the next episode.